is going on, guys? Skip here, and welcome back to another episode in our Road to Glory series. Today we are back with some four-day cricket as the boys from Nottingham take on Essex down at Trent Bridge. If you did join us last episode, you would have seen that we picked up a massive W that has placed Pjizma and the lads third on the table, not too far away from Surrey there on top. If we have a quick look at the calendar, you can see that we have a little bit of four-day cricket coming up, so plenty of opportunity for Pjizma to put one foot in front of the others and continue to knock on the door in front of these English selectors. But that'll be enough from us at the menus. I'll catch us all out at the toss. If you do enjoy Cricket 22 content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Leave a cheeky comment down below. I promise you'll make 100 in your next innings. We do live stream over on Twitch 4 days a week. I'll leave all my links in the description, so make sure you click on in, come and say g'day, and let's continue to put cricket back on the map. So here we are, ladies and gents. Welcome to Trent Bridge for this four-day match between the Outlaws and the lads from Essex. Trent Bridge looking a little different to Durham Stadium, that is for sure. Wayne Kerr's going to stand at central for us today. Haseeb Hameed still has the captain's armband, and Pjizma sits himself at number 5. It looks a little overcast down at the River Trent today as the coin goes up. Tails is called, it never fails. And on this occasion, Essex are going to determine what is happening on a medium standard wicket. The captains look at each other. Essex says, hey, we are going to utilise the conditions here. We're going to send you into bat. Let's see what Pjizma's got. I'll catch us all in the middle. We'll utilise the conditions they have. Pjizma walks out at the score 87 for 3. 22 overs have been bowled. Cook steams in for ball number 1. And Pjizma just gets forward and defends it back to him nicely. Essex go about this. Cook has bowled a serious spell. He rolls in for the third ball of his over, and Pjizma laces this one down through mid-on. He doesn't get all of it. You can see he was late on the timing, but he picks up 2, gets off the mark, and takes the score to 89 for 3. Well, we saw it last match and the match before. He gets off to good starts and then just finds himself in a bit of a pickle as Cook gets a little straight to him and he tickles this one down a fine leg for 1. Benny Duckett down the other end, 20 off 26. It is hard going here for the boys from Trent Bridge. As Pish gets one on the back leg. This one hits him. They make some noise. Wayno, look after us, please, brother. And he does. Oh, that was close. It was a pitch and outside leg. Yes, it was by an absolute male. It hits him in line. It was going to hit the top of off, and Pjizma just let off by the laws of the game. Well, it's a medium standard wicket, so you know there's going to be a little bit in it for the bowlers. Come day 2, day 3, it's a batter's paradise as Snyder comes round the wicket and we play and miss. I'm not going to lie, Snyder is a fairly cool surname. He's got the slick back hair. He doesn't care at Trent Bridge as he gets nice and full, and Pjizma presses this to mid-off. Just gets to that point in the career where you start to knock on the door of international selection and things at the county level get a little bit tougher. Snyder goes again and Pjizma plays and misses. We can remember back early doors to Pjizma's career. He did have an issue against Essex. He snuck off a couple of times. Today, it's not going to happen. Oh, it has. He sneaks off and he's been dropped at second slip. Well, would you read about it? Snyder lengthens Pjizma up. He gets the ball where he wants it. A healthy schnick. And whoever's standing at second slip has shelled that, you idiot. Well, that is a lesson for all the youngsters out there. Just play nice and tight early doors as we speak. This one nips away. Oh boy, there is plenty in this wicket. 5 off 12. This is what is going to make a resilient international cricketer. Snyder in, Pjizma walks across and works this beautifully through mid-wicket. Have some of that. He adjusts on the spot. He doesn't get all of it, but enough. Oh, he does, and it goes for 4. Oh, you drop him once, I tell you what, you're going to have to pay the price. The 100 comes up for the Outlaws. The last of the 26 is fast from Snyder. It goes past Pjizma's edge. And after 26, it's 100 for 3. Well, some spin into the attack. Big Simon Harmer. He's taken 1,000,000 first-class wickets. Pjizma gets the first ball from him. He's going to put his foot down the wicket and take a one to the sweeper. Just seems out of sorts a little bit, the big dog. He didn't get the conditions last game. He's now got his home conditions. He shuffles across and once again just uses his brain, makes it easy and takes a single to fine leg. Duckett sticking fat. Wayno likewise. Harmer around the wicket. Pjizma steps on this nicely, just puts his bat through it, and he charges down the other end. He's not going to pick up 4. Can Duckett come back for 3? He doesn't. He's shown some good intent early. Harmer not the one to really spin it. You'd think he's going to slide on with the arm. That's what he does. 2 men out on the leg side. A couple balls left in the 29th. Pjizma once again shuffles. He gets the trusty sweep shot out. He doesn't get all of it. Does he come back for 2? No. Well, here's one for you. Peter Siddle into the attack for the last of the 32nd. He goes round and hits Pjizma with that angle. He plays and misses, and the Outlaws are 117 for 3. A good first session for both teams. The 3 wickets have fallen, 125 on the board. As Siddle's in, Pjizma gets on the back, Todd, and he plays this to cover for no run. Well, I think Peter Siddle's still eating 170 bananas a day. He rolls in for the last, and Pjizma looks to hook it. He doesn't get all of it. It's going to be one hand, one bounce down, a fine leg. We take it to the score. No dramas, 34 a bowl, and it's 126 for 3. Well, here's a moment in the game. Dan Lawrence, of all people, has been throwing the ball with his right arm spinners. Pidge gets the sweep shot out this time. He's going to go straight away. He's a little bit late on it, and he gets enough for a couple. Well, you can already see no short fine leg. Pjizma premeditates. He looks to get the scoop out. We'll go one better than that. We'll sweep it as fine as we can, and it goes into the rope for 4. Snyder in for his second spell. None for 13 as he gets full to Pjizma, who just pumps this one down the ground. Oh, it's an on drive. The Nottinghamshire crowd roar, and it's 4 more to the big man's total. Now he's on a roll. Dropped at second slip, if you can remember. Now the innings is starting to fly. Snyder rolls in. He gets wide, and Pjizma smokes this through backward point. Good luck catching that, you idiot. Get back to the top of your run-up. Dan Lawrence continuing. He's got a packed leg side field. The short fine leg goes in there. Silly points in there, having a field day. And Pjizma just bangs this over. Mid-on's head. Go and catch that, you goose. He lets it go through, and it goes all the way for 4. Well, that brings up the 150. We're not going to let the part-timer settle. He comes in for the last of his second, and Pjizma plays this to backward point. The reverse Malacca doesn't get him anywhere. 37 a bowl, and it's 150 for 3. Well, I don't know what the captain's doing. Is someone broken down? Because Dan Lawrence is bowling over number 3. Comes in from round the wicket. Pij gets onto this nice and early. Does it beat backward square? It doesn't. It's good enough to get the boys back for 2. This partnership's starting to pose a problem for the Essex lads. Ben Duckett 43 off 80. Pjizma Pant the aggressor as Snyder comes over the wicket this time, and Pij just tickles it down the fine leg for 1. He's defended the onslaught, and he's aggressed when he's needed to be. The great man gets himself to 46. Dan Lawrence tosses one up. Pjizma looks to smoke it back over his head for 4. Does he get all of it? Yes, he does. There's 50 for the great man. You are a star, Big Red. Oh boy, have some of that. 50 off 69 as Lawrence is in again. Pjizma looks to hit this through cover point. He gets a thick outside edge and gets down the other end for 1. Well, it's been what the game has needed. Duckett 49, Pjizma 51. The partnership grows. It's 176 for 3. As Snyder bowls the full toss. Pjizma doesn't get any of it, but enough to get down the other end for another picket fence. Siddle back into the attack. Pjizma looking to step outside the crease here and combat some of that natural nip he gets. That is fast, way too fast. These two really have dug in deep. The run rate at 4 and over. It doesn't feel like it, but Pjizma's been able to counter-attack. Oh, as he gets another short one. That just misses the outside edge again. All the near misses coming back to haunt Essex. Siddle continues round the wicket. 1 for 43. He gets full. Pjizma steps on this and he bangs it down the ground. The boys have chosen not to field. I don't know why Pjizma's running. The 200 comes up and it goes all the way along the carpet for 4. The boys crawl their way to 2-2-4. Duckett's starting to put the foot down. Harmer around the wicket. He tosses this one up and Pjizma sweeps it beautifully. Does he get all of it? He doesn't. The fielder comes in, puts in a nice slide, and the boys get back for 2. Well, look who's back into the attack. The part-timer Dan Lawrence. Pjizma's not going to waste any time here. He steps on him and just smokes him over his head. 2 bounces into the rope. Have some of that. Well, if you don't mind Know where you stand, Mr. Lawrence. In for the last of his 8th. He bowls exactly the same ball. Pjizma puts his bat through this one over mid-on, maybe. I'm not too sure. But why are you running 58 a bowl and it's 235 for 3? And just as both batsmen were eyeing up a ton, Benny Duckett gone for the Devils, number of 87. Pjizma continues the ride. The score goes to 249 for 4 after 64. Well, he's 16 away. Harmer picked up the wicket, but he didn't pick up the big wicket. Pjizma uses his wrist beautifully. He opens it up like a Lana Rhodes documentary, and he picks up 4. Well, that's the headache he gives opposition teams. Does he counterattack? Does he go into his shell? It is fairly simple as he lollipops this one up to short cover, and he's gone next ball. Oh, Pjizma Pant. Oh, dearie me. Just when you hype it up, the counterattack was on. He got a loopy one. It hit the toe. He was through the shot far too early, and he's gone for 88, and it's 5 for 253. Well, that is heartbreak if I've ever seen it. Pjizma Pant falling 12 runs short of another 4-day 100. The partnership was huge with Duckett getting the boys to 323 in the 93rd over. But hey, you can sit here, twiddle your thumbs, and ponder over what could have been, or you can put yourself in the driver's seat, strap yourself in, give him the big red ball, and see what the big fella can do. We're going to pick up play in the 30th over. It's 114 for 4. Essex trail by 209, and the bloke with the ball has it all to do. Well, here we go. 12 short of a ton. He's fired up and ready to go back at Trent Bridge. He rolls in for ball number 1 to Lawrence, and he presses this one. Oh, and he's kicked. Oh, boy, we've seen it all in cricket 22. What on earth has happened? The game has shit itself to London Bridge. Oh, come on. Well, that's genuinely laughable. Lawrence picks up a bonus 4. Pish forgets about it, bowls again. This time we beat him, all ends up. We make some noise, and Wayno shakes his head. Well, that's the Pjizma Pant we know. Starting on fire. Ball number 3 to Lawrence is there on a diamond. We trap him back on his crease. The wicket is an absolute belter to bat on. It looks like there's a bit of sunshine at Trent Bridge, and I'll tell you what, there's a castle that's just been rattled as well. Pjizma Pants knocked his off stump out the ground. Superb. Oh, Dan Lawrence, you have copped a corker, brother. It's 5 for 118. Pjizma, you star. Well, we'll have another gaze at that. Oh, what a delivery. It pitched on off. It nipped away a touch. Off stump, out the ground. What a start to the innings. Well, I reckon that might just be his best ball ever bowled. He rolls in for the last of his first. This one a little wider to Weeder. He lets it go through, and after 30, Essex are 118 for 5. Well, if that doesn't get you out your seat, I don't know what does. Pidge comes in for his second over. This time, Pepper wants to get on the back tide. He picks up length early and hits it through the vacant mid-wicket area. And the boys come back for a couple. Once again, a little wider of the crease. We like this direct line. It just finds the angle of off stump. This one a little too straight, and it's clipped forward of square. Momentum well and truly with the Outlaws. The fans are out at TB to check him out today as the leg cutter comes in. Pepper slashes and misses. Well, he's got this thing about taking the pace off the ball and trying to play mind games. He goes again. This time Pepper checks it and he clips it down to third man for a single. So Wheater 4 off 4, Pjizma into the last of his second. He's going to fire this one in at the stumps. It's very quick, 153 clicks quick, 32 are bowled, and Essex are in all sorts of trouble. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gents. There is an issue with the captain at the Outlaws, Haseeb Hameed, giving Pjizma Pant 2 overs to bowl before bringing him off and telling him to have a rest. Essex are rolled in the 67th over for 216. We were given 12 rocks, produced one of the best you will ever see. We dropped Hasib down to third man. He wasn't too happy about it, and he took the big red off. But I tell you what, we're not going to react to that. It is the start of day 3 and Nottinghamshire lead by 250 runs. It's 143 for 3 as the big dog walks out to bat. Can he finally get himself to 100? Strap yourselves in. I'll catch us in the middle. Well, out he comes. 27 50s, 400s, and a massive, massive headache. Not with the Essex lads, but with his captain. Dan Lawrence, 8 overs into his spell as Pij gets forward and he defends his first. I mean, what is going on with the leadership? He just needs the captain's armband. It's simple. Lawrence comes in, we sweep our second ball, and we take the single out to backward square. The big dog's off the mark. Yep, I'm just as bamboozled as you are. It doesn't matter, though, because we've got Duckett down the other end. Harmer bowls his first ball. Pij punches it back to him. Into the 41st over. The boys looking to counter-attack on Essex here as Pij gets a little early to the sweep shot. He doesn't get all of it. He's slow out the box. It's another picket fence to backward square. We can see Benny Duckett and Pjizma Pant batting together at the highest level, that is for sure. Lawrence in for his 10th. He bowls one on Pijma's legs. There's a bloke at deep mid-on, but it doesn't matter. He rails it over his head and into the TB crowd. Wait, get your hands up! Oh, yes, he wasn't messing about. That is just a pure cricket shot, and it sails into the 37th row. Well, Dan Lawrence is bowling absolute pies. 8 off 6 to start us off. He comes in again, this time the Husser Una Rumper. It gets hit on the pad. The boys make some noise. Wayno says no. Was it close? He did shuffle outside off. I tell you what, this innings has had plenty already. It hits him on the bat before the pad, and it wasn't missing leg stump. You're lucky. Well, you'd think that 330, 340 would be enough for the Outlaws here. Pij going to put his foot down at 160 for 3. Oh, boy, is he doing it. Just a little bit of purchase for Harmer. Day 3, wicket starting to break up a touch. He bowls on the legs again to Pij, who puts his foot down. He goes the aerial route. It beats mid-on and goes for 4 more. He is all business today. He's got plenty to play for, just not for Hasib. As he comes in again, Mr. Harmer. He's missed his line, his length, his everything, and the boys are just picking up the ball from the rope. Have some of that. Essex putting a tight little squeeze on. Pjizma hasn't really faced the ball in a long time. Harmer continues. There's the leading edge. Ooh, 1 and 1 bounce back to him. And this is what happens. Duckett chews up balls and Pjizma just loses his touch a little bit. Harmer rolls in. He goes leg side this time. Pjizma slashes and misses. Still yet to face any fast-paced bowling this innings. Harmer continues. He bowls on the legs, and Pjizma just clips this into the vacant fine leg region. The boys come back for 2. Oh, it's good running. The lead up to 305. Harmer comes in for the last of the 51st. He rolls in, bowls this one outside off. Pjizma laces it through square point or right on point, whatever you want to call it, and he picks up another boundary. Finally, some fast-paced bowling. Cook into the attack. 2 for 23 off 7. He comes over the wicket to Pij, who just says, hey, brother, are you sure you want to do what you're doing? He laces him through mid-on. Does he come back for 3? No, he doesn't. Well, it's a shot, a ball. You can see Pjizma really wants to put the foot down. He gets a short one this time. He plays and misses. That is fast. Well, we're going to invite him to do it again. Any short ball is going over the rope. Cook comes in. There's another one. Oh, boy, are we really sure about this, Pjizma? He's just pushed him back in his crease nicely. He's got to get on that back, Todd. Steams in yet again. Oh, this one hits him on the pad. The boys make some noise in a pitch outside leg. Wayno, he looks after us and shakes his head. Peter Siddle into the attack to bowl to Pij for the first time in this second dig. You'd think the hamstrings are a little sore. He comes around the wicket and he knocks his fast. Oh, I can't even speak. He knocks it out the ground. Peter Siddle, have some of that. That's a cracker. That is a genuine cracker. You can't do too much about that. Pjizma absolutely stunned, and he's gone for 41, and the score's 215 for 4. Well, Peter Siddle has got the wood over us at the moment. We were looking forward to the fast-paced bowling, and it only took him one rock to knock the off-peg out the ground. Pjizma gone for 41, and have a look at that second innings score. 455 all out in the 128th over. Benny Duckett was due. He was the one that put his head down and finally got that three-figure score that they were looking for, and it's put the Outlaws in a winning position. Essex trail by 505 runs. They're 17 overs into this one. The score's at 57 for 4. Can the big dog turn up and take a bag to finish this one? I'll catch us out in the middle. Well, we couldn't speak when Peter Siddle knocked the stump out the ground, and I don't think I still can. Dan Lawrence is still having nightmares on 7 off 10 as Pidge rolls in ball number 1, and he gets back into his crease and defends nicely. Well, we're going wide of the crease again. Let's see what Lawrence has got here. Pjizma into his work, and once again, trapped back on the crease defending. 6 wickets to get. Hasib has given him a sniff before the 20 over mark. He comes in and Lawrence looks to whip him leg side. Has he got something up his sleeve to close his first? Yet to concede a run. He steams in this time. Lawrence lets it through to the keeper. 18 have been bowled and Essex are 57 for 4. Well, the general plans to be full and at the stumps. We drop the length back this time and look at the lift on the way through to Tommy Moores. Here's the man with the plan. We just need a couple of wickets in that column. We come in again to Lawrence. We go through the inside edge and we get up in his face and sniff his pits. Well, that was the ball we were looking for. Lawrence still trapped on the crease. We get Fuller this time. He steps across. He reads it well and he works it through the vacant mid-wicket gap all the way along the carpet for 4. Well, that was the one that got away. The length ball. This time we go back to the full one, and there you go. We've got him just trapped back nicely. Not too much is going to change. 20 have been bowled, and it's 68 for 4. Nothing too exciting yet. Just conceded the 4. The off-cutter's in, and once again, probably a little too straight. Lawrence finds the middle of the bat, and once again, it goes along the carpet all the way for 4. The Trent Bridge crowd are in. They're chanting his name. They just want something. They want something. He comes in with a full half volley again. This one gets pressed down the ground. Mid on and mid off. Don't even chase it. Pjizma made to do his own work, and he's not fast enough. Well, back-to-back boundaries. You know the drill. We're going upstairs. Pjizma bends the back. This time Lawrence gets underneath, and he just whiffs past him and has a sniff. Certainly haven't bent the back, that's for sure. We've had to wait till day 4 to have our real first crack as Lawrence gets forward. Rounds out the 22nd and Essex go to 76 for 5. Well, would you read about it? Junk time overs. Hasib gives Pidge another one as we're full and we're on the toes of Dan. We just step inside to Wayno a little bit. Not quite working the wide stuff to Lawrence. Oh, that one does. Thank you very much. We hit the edge. It lifts the first slip. Wayno doesn't give it. You're a disgrace. How has this become a consistent thing? Pjizma in, it was the full out swinger. Look at the seam on that. It picked up Dan's edge. It was healthy and it travelled beautifully. A good catch to Buttinger at first slip, and Wayno shakes his head. Disgusting. Well, surely Hasib has felt sorry for us to the point where he's given us another over. We roll into Lawrence. This one's fully gets the leading edge and it goes through cover. Oh, when it rains, it pours and it goes all the way for 4. You're a disgrace. Oh, Wayno waves those noodle arms. He smiles and says, Pidge, go get another one. This time he does it. This time it goes through gully. He's dropped it. It goes for 4. Oh, Wayno, what you doing? This is first class bowling. 4th time lucky. Pigeon catch it. Leading edge. No. Oh, we're doing everything but take the wicket. Please this time. Pidge rolls in. Lawrence snicks it to first slip. Thank you very much. Wayno gives it. That is beautiful bowling. Thank you very much, Wayno. Pjizma Pants on the board with one. He was fully swung it late. Lawrence had no answer for it. The keeper dives behind first slip and he's on his bike and it's 6 for 94. Oh, we welcome in Simon Harmer. What have you got for the scorers today? 25.4 bowl. Pjizma in again. He hits him on the pad. How was that one, Wayno? We're begging you, son. He says not out. It hit him outside the line. Well, it's pure excitement, raw emotion. Pij him for the last of his fifth. This time he goes to Harmer, who whips it forward to square a successful over for the big red, and it's 94 for 6. Pij on a mission. Harmer getting real whippy with him. What can he do? Outside the line, he stands and he plonks it to extra cover and he runs down the other end and picks up one. For the last ball of Pjizma's sixth and probably the spell. He's going to roll the fingers over this. He finds the middle of Weeder's back. It concludes the 28th and Essex are 99 for 6. And yep, we called it there and then. Essex bowled out for 138 in the 38th over, and the boys from Nottingham putting on a show over the first 4 days of this one, winning by 424 runs and putting a statement on the competition. Ben Duckett, Pjizma Pant, Patterson White and the lads stepping up, putting on a show for the home crowd and getting the job done. Well, we are going to leave it there for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. It was yet another roller coaster. Pjizma falling agonisingly short of a ton in the first dig. We tried to put the foot down with the bat in the second, and we picked up some important wickets along the way. Stumps were out the ground. Edges were taken. Umpires' decisions were shocking as always, but Pjizma Pant continues to bend his back and put one foot in front of the other for a sure, soon enough call up to the international stage. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Leave a cheeky comment down below. Make sure you swing over and catch us in one of our live streams as well. But until the next one, ladies and gents, look after yourselves and those around you, and I'll catch us in the next one.